Because of the coronavirus pandemic, we know there's a need for information like never before. That's why LEX18 and our parent company, Scripps, created the Rebound Kentucky. For the past 3+ months, many distilleries did their part to provide hand sanitizer to Kentuckians, especially frontline workers. But now that we're in the next phase of reopening businesses, there are more things to keep in mind as more reasons to travel across the bluegrass come available. LEX18's Conroy DeLuche introduces us to one distillery that isn't necessarily Rebound. It's resurrecting a name and some Lexington history.
Outside in the heat, construction continues on Manchester Street. It's the corridor to the Distillery District, not only a hotspot in pre-pandemic Lexington, but a connection to bourbon history and a spot of inspiration for Barry Brinegar.
We felt really strongly that we wanted to resurrect Lexington's first federal registered distillery back in 1865. That was Ashland Distillery.
Registered Distillery number 1, now being reborn as William Tarr Distillery, named for the man who owned the Ashland whiskey into the late 1890s. Brinegar and his co-owner are teaming with investors and bourbon enthusiasts, which include UK football head coach Mark Stoops, to try and not only reconnect with Lexington history, but to keep more tourism dollars here.
And a lot of times folks will come into Bluegrass Airfield, they'll spend the night in Lexington, and then they go to Frankfort, they go to Bardstown, they go to Louisville, and we just felt like if we were a part of the Lexington bourbon market, that we would have yet another destination location for people to stay and enjoy the things that Lexington has to offer.
On Wednesday, the new label for William Tarr Distillery will be unveiled at a Tarr Underground party, but you'll have to wait a little bit longer before trying one of their first releases.
Our bottles will be on the shelf by the end of August, so we're really fortunate, to be able to move at that breakneck speed.
The plan for the brick and mortar location for the distillery is to be right here in the Distillery District, right inside an old rick house.
Officially we'll have a still that's going to be producing, initially when craft distilleries get started, they produce clear spirits, vodka and gin, and we'll be producing our own vodka and products there on site.
The bourbon will take time to distill, but more than 100 years after William Tarr sold his distillery and faded into history, his name is now revived and brand reborn. So waiting just a little bit longer won't be too difficult. In Lexington, Conroy DeLuche, Evening Edition.
The big unveiling for William Tarr comes as the final phase of Healthy at Work begins. And there are things to keep in mind for social distancing at the new reopened businesses. And you can find more information about the guidelines to keep in mind, along with tips to help your business bounce back, job openings, and our previous stories at the Rebound Kentucky online. Just go to lex18.com/rebound.